Hello everyone and welcome. Do you like dinosaurs? Do you believe that life always finds a way? If you do, you're going to love this video because I'm Mike. This is Mike's After Action Reviews, and this is the Rapid Action Review for Jurassic World Rebirth. So guys, as always, this is a Rapid Action Review, so I have my notes. We're going to be cutting out some of the things that we normally cover in the After Action Reviews to make this one a little bit more rapid. This is the first movie review we've done in my new location as a Rapid Action Review, so we'll see how monetization goes or copyright claims. But let's jump into here. We're going to start with production. So the release date of Jurassic World Rebirth was July 2nd, 2025. The production companies were Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. It was written by David Koepp, K-O-E-P-P, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and directed by Gareth Edwards. The music was by Alexandra Desplat. So this is starring Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend. Now, Jonathan Bailey I know that he's in Bridgerton. I've never watched that show, but I'm pretty sure he's in Bridgerton. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali were both in the MCU. Scarlett Johansson has been in Hollywood, big in Hollywood for a while. Mahershala Ali, he's been big in Hollywood, not as long as Scarlett Johansson, but he's been in some great stuff. Rupert Friend, kind of a sleeper hit. A lot of people don't know that they know him, but he's been in some really good stuff. So I think that overall, we have a pretty good production potential. We have good production here and a great cast. So getting into the movie's plot summary before we move on to my sustains and improves, Jurassic World Rebirth's runtime is 2 hours and 13 minutes. And the IMDb plot summary is as follows. 5 years post-Jurassic World Dominion, the movie that came out in 2022, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. Okay, so basically, guys, we're kind of similar to what happened in the second movie of the original Jurassic Park trilogy. If you haven't seen that, they've got to go back to the islands. They're not in a park. They're just in the open. Dinosaurs living on this island out in the open, living like animals as they normally would. And these guys have to go in there to get some DNA from certain dinosaurs to be able to do this medical breakthrough. I thought that it was fine, nothing huge, not a blockbuster here. But you don't really need that type of story. It's not like Hamlet, but you don't really need Shakespearean writing in order to make a movie about dinosaurs work. So cutting everything else out, let's move into my sustains and improves. So my first sustain is great acting. We did have that great cast. And something that's always really awesome is you can have a very simple, mundane plot, but as long as the writing or mundane idea for a movie, for a story, but as long as the writing is decent and the acting is good, you can really have a really great movie. Also, the second thing is character development. In some of these movies, like the Jurassic World movies, we're not getting as much development as we would like. There's not specific characteristics that are pointed out that kind of relate to what's going on in the story about the characters. Here we definitely get the character development. There's some callbacks to some things from the beginning of the film that we learn about the characters later on in the film, and I really do like that. That's pretty good. I don't know what their plans are about maybe bringing these characters back to do something else, but I did like the character development. Now, the big one, the big sustain, my third sustain is fun. Look it. Everybody's going to have criticisms of this movie, as they do with all movies, but the big thing you have to realize when you're listening to that is the number one thing is this is actually fun. They're not doing it's not a bunch of people in rooms talking about a problem that they're having with dinosaurs in a theme park. This is people being attacked by dinosaurs, fighting off dinosaurs, doing all kinds of awesome stuff with dinosaurs. We've got new dinosaurs. We've got some cool stuff going on. It feels really fun, and it's fast-paced, so that's awesome. Okay, so then let's move into my second half of the review, the improves. So the first thing is that in the beginning of the film, a small spoiler kind of, the premise of the movie is that dinosaurs are dying now, and basically like they're dying off except for in small areas along the equator, and that's because of the environment and where they can live because of different oxygenation levels and the climate and all that stuff. It's kind of a departure from the life finds a way kind of thesis statement of this movie franchise. Life isn't finding a way. Dinosaurs are dying off. I don't know what they're going to do in the future if life finds a way is kind of gone and dinosaurs are dying off. You're kind of ruining your own friend. I don't know what they're going to do. I think that they've kind of written themselves into a little bit of a corner there, and it's going to be interesting to see if they do try to continue the series, how they're going to deal with that. And then also, basically, because of that, we've almost erased the whole point of all of the Jurassic World movies, The first Jurassic World movie, we have another park, but then the second one, they outright, dinosaurs get out and go and populate the Earth, and it's going to be this cool thing, and, possibly leading up to a society with humanity living alongside dinosaurs, and if they would have done that right, it could have been really cool. I think that it was a little bit disappointing. But anyway, my point, though, is just that you've kind of ruined that premise that you introduced in the Jurassic World movies. So I don't know what they're going to do. But all of that stuff is kind of a moving forward thing, and for me, in this movie, it's a small disappointment, honestly. But it is an improve, and I'm scared for the future now because of that. I'm not going to say that it totally ruins this movie or anything, because it doesn't. It's kind of a small thing for this movie, but I just don't know where they're going to go moving forward. Okay, and then the other thing is that I wrote disappointing new monster. It's not that the monster itself is disappointing. Actually, it's very scary. It's a cool idea. It's kind of goes along with what Michael Crichton wanted to do with the book series. But the problem with it is, without getting into any spoilers, not much happens. In the past, it's kind of been a tradition that certain things happen with the big bad of the Jurassic World movies. And we just really did not get those things. And no matter how you feel about any of the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies, missing out on some of these things was definitely a disappointment, if that makes sense without spoiling it. But listen, guys, so this has been my review. Overall, my final statement and review score, I'm going to give this movie an above average. When we think about average for me is kind of like a movie that you watch on TV. Maybe you're doing some other stuff with your family, you have it playing, and it's okay, it's enjoyable, it's fine. This was a little bit above that because, it is kind of fun. You want to be engaged. Dinosaurs, guys. Dinosaurs on the screen. It's so cool. And we got a bunch of new stuff going on with those dinosaurs, and there's different dinosaurs, and yeah, so it's nice, especially for people who like dinosaurs and like the franchise so far. Was it excellent? No. And I don't think that they were necessarily aiming for excellent, but I was quite satisfied, quite engaged, and happy to have gone and seen it in theaters. So that's all I've got today, guys, for the review. I do want to thank you all for watching and just say God bless you all. Have a good night. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and join the Discord, where you can voice chat with me while I live stream, and you won't be recorded or anything on YouTube and Twitch, so that's pretty cool. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you like to read, you can see my after-action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in the description below.